To another week of the weekly Forex forecast. This week is a little bit confusing. I can say it's confusing, and the reason why is that if you check the DSY last week, which tells us that okay, I think we've break to the upside, but if we now check the daily time frame, you will see that it closed below the level. It closed bearish. The daily candle of that Friday closed bearish, and it's still within this resistance level, which tells us that we might still have the continuation to the downside. That is, dollar weakness might still come to play out. Dollar weakness might still come towards to play out. But on the contrary, if we have the close of the Monday, let's say daily candle of the Monday closes above this area, it tells us that we now have US dollar strength. But if we have it closes below, let's say we still have another bearish candle close on Monday, it tells us that we have a weak a weaker dollar, if you understand. But most of it you can see it on GBP USD, Euro USD, that the closest bullish last week Friday. So here now, if we check the overall trend of this trend line, you see that it's still at the dangerous zone right there. So you can actually wait for it to close below or wait for it to close above. But before we do this analysis, let's check the fundamentals first. Let's check the news we have next week. So on Monday, I don't think we have much news, nothing on Monday to talk about. On Tuesday, we have the pounds manufacturing PMI and the flash PMI, so we have to look around that also. So they predict higher results. The previous is 48.7 of the flash service PMI, and then their prediction or the market forecast is 49.2. And according to the flash manufacturing PMI, the previous is 47, and then they are anticipating 47.5. So if we see better than the forecast result, we should see GBP USD to the upside, GBP JPY to the upside. Those are my favorite GBP pairs to trade. If we see this one coming out better than expected on Tuesday, and then we have Canadian dollar CPI, which it's a high impact news also, so we have to look into that. And then we have we have Canadian peers. Number one, the first one we have that we have to look into is Canadian JPY. That's CAD JPY. So if we see this one coming out, let's say as predicted, or there's not even anticipated result here. So if we see it coming out better than expected, or let's say worse than the previous one, or better than the previous one, if you see it better than the previous one, that means that we should see CAD JPY to the upside. But my favorite position is CAD JPY to the downside, so I'm anticipating we'll see a worse than the previous reading. So let's see how it goes. But it's good to be reactive, not to be predictive. So let's wait for the outcome of the results before we continue. Maybe we'll take the downside, or we'll take the breakout of the upside, because last week Canadian JPY closes bearish and it forms head and shoulder on 4 hour time frame, so we are still going to check it. So Wednesday we have the AUD wage price index, and then we have the SND monetary policy. This one is either we see a stronger SND or a weaker SND, and then there are two ways to trade it. If we see a weaker SND, we have SND USD to trade. We have USD and then AUD SND. But if you now have the let's say weaker or stronger one, yeah, I think I first said weaker one. So the previous their previous monetary policy result is 4.25. So they are going for 50 basis points rate hike, and mind you, they might give us as expected, like the 50 basis points rate hike. So if they give us as expected, you know, at first SND may be weaker at first because market is already expecting it. Yeah. So if they now give us, let's say 4.50 or let's say 4.95 or 4.8, if you understand, so we should see a very stronger SND on Wednesday. So let's say it goes right there. So we don't have much on US dollar this week. So the only one we have is FOMC meeting, and you have to take note of the FOMC meeting because what they usually say in their meeting moves the market a lot. Wednesday we have the FOMC meeting. I think this is the crucial one we have this week. And then on Thursday we have the US prelim GDP. So you have to take note of this. It's a high impact news. Also on Friday we have the core PCE price index of the US. But the most important one is what they say on Wednesday, that is at the FOMC meeting. So that's when they talk about maybe hiking interest rates or maybe lowering the interest rate, or maybe they are going for 25 basis points or 50 basis points. So let's see how it goes. Right there. So let's dive deep into the technical aspect. So as we are saying, BSY looks confusing this week. So let's see how it goes. But we have some interesting analysis here. So the first one we want to check out is the gold. So right here, as you can see, gold creates something like let me delete this. As you can see, this is a doji candle. That's a daily candle plus doji here. That is a reversal candle, which means that the buyers are in position. So the next candle it still closes bullish. So it rejects from here. For the start of on Friday morning, it creates what we call a bearish candle, but at the close of the candle, buyers came in and reject and close to the upside, which tells us that gold for the next couple of days we might see it going higher, and then this is the next target, 1886. So yeah, what I actually do right here is let me use the 4-hour time frame. So as you can see, we have a breakout of this spot already. So we have a break to the upside of this spot. So this one gives us a edge that okay, we are still heading to the upside. So we can just wait for a retracement, maybe it's creating what we call the head and shoulder, and then that is our target right there. So we might say something like this. So this is our target right here at 1885. So let's see how it goes on Monday, because it's reject twice at this area, taking the daily time frame. They have a rejection candle and the hammer candle, so which tells us that the buyers are in position at this particular area. This is a solid support level, so anything can happen from here. We might see a rejection to the downside, and then we might see what we call a breakout. So but first, our target is right here for this week. So if we now see maybe before the end of the week a breakout or a rejection, then will follow right there. So the next pair we want to talk about is the Euro USD. As you can see, most of this pair closes bullish on Friday, which tells us that I think we have a weaker USD, even if the DSY is not giving us a clear picture right there. But most of these pairs are giving us a clear picture, because before we can thinking of going short at this area, we must break this what we call the support level to the downside before we can think of selling. But for now, our whole bias is to the upside, so you can just wait for let's say a push up, a reversal, then a move to the upside. So what I'm looking at here is to buy Euro USD to the upside is one of my favorite position this particular week. So this is what I'm looking to trade this week, Euro USD to the upside. So my target is this is my target right here. This is my target on Euro US dollar this week. So my target is at 1.09271, or if you want to put it in a safe place, 1.08930. So favorite position, Euro USD to the upside, and then you might have to take profit here. One might be at 1.07924, and the second one is 1.08930. So that's my analysis on Euro USD, because if you see it closes above. If you see the bigger picture is let's see something like the higher high, higher low, the higher high, higher low, and then maybe it's going to create a new higher high, we don't know. So putting another confirmation is putting a Fibonacci retracement from this high to this high. This is 70, it will get at 78.6 retracement level. As you can see, this is 78.6 retracement level right there. So which tells us that we might see a break of this particular high to the upside if the DSY rejects that particular area and move to the downside. So let's see how it goes on Euro USD, and we have some interesting news on Euro. So the one I showed you, the French manufacturing PMI, French flash PMI, that is on Tuesday. So let's see how it goes. Though it's a medium impact news, but it might still affect the currency pair. So the next one we want to check out is GBP USD. So GBP USD, we have a high impact news. If we have what we call a stronger GBP, because if you check this level now, this level of support is holding. As you can see, the level of support is holding right here. We have a fake breakout, breaking back. It's not touched the support level. We have the touch of the support level here, and then a rejection right there. So here too, our bias is to the upside. What will make us change our bias is when it breaks to the downside. That is when we change. If the support level break, then we change our bias to the downside. But for now, our bias still remain to the upside. So here we might have something like, it might create something like head and shoulder at this particular area. Then you might see a move to the upside right there, because as you can see, this support level is still holding, and the whole directional bias, if you check, is to the upside. So you might have something like this. So let's see how it goes right there. If you before you change your bias to the downside, make sure we have a break of this particular support level, and you can wait for retest and then change your bias to the downside. But for now, what I can think of personally is how to buy and where to enter and where to take my profit. So let's see how it goes right there. If we have a better than expected PMI result out of the GBP on Tuesday, then we should have GBP USD to the upside. So the next one is AUD USD. AUD USD is a little bit confusing, but still yet we still have a close to the upside. So all these ones are giving us clue that DSY might be weak for the next couple of days, for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, why this one is so confusing is that if we delete this thing, let's eliminate it. Here we have something we call neckline at this particular area. As you can see, after it's this is head and shoulder. So after its breakout, this is supposed to be a retest of the neckline, and this is supposed to do continuation to the downside. But if you still check, on the other hand, if you still check this trend line that is placed right there, you see that it serves as a support level and it got rejected at that particular area. So here on me personally, on AUD USD, I'm going to do a lot of wait. Maybe wait for Monday candle to close, and maybe probably waiting for the Tuesday candle to also close before I confirm the directional bias, because it's good to wait down just to enter and then the market kick you out, if you understand. So just wait for the maybe to close above this level, then we have what we call a retest, then we have a move to this first target at 0.700. maybe now break the resistance level and move up. We don't actually know right there. So a lot of weight needed on AUD USD to confirm the old directional bias. Maybe you are going up or you are going to break this to the upside. So it depends on what actually happened on DSY, and let's see how it goes. So that is it right there. So the next pair we want to look at is SND USD. SND US dollar, we have what we call, as you can see, this is a support level also. It respects the support level also, if you understand. So here too, we can wait for the retracement, then a buy to the upside. But we have SND interest rate on Wednesday. As you can see, this one is very, very crucial. So if we have a, let's say, better than expected reading, then we should have SND USD hitting this 0.64553 level. But if we have let's say worse than expected, and we have a stronger dollar, we should have a break of this particular support right here to the downside. Then we can take the first profit at that particular level right there. So but for now, before the news, I'm anticipating a bullish setup on SND USD. So let's go to the next one, which is US dollar Canadian dollar. As you can see, we are in area of resistance level, and then this is actually a chart pattern right here, as you can see. and then we have what we call a trend line at this particular area. Drawing this trend line at this particular area, it means that you might see a breakout of this trend line, then a move to the downside at this particular area. So I'm anticipating a sell on US dollar, Canadian dollar. So that is my buy. So after it touches this 1.33 023, we might see a move to the upside or a break of this particular support, because this check the support level is very strong. It's a very strong key support level. So might have a break of that support level, but we have Canadian news on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, we have it on Tuesday. That is the CPI. So if the CPI comes out better than expected, we might see US dollar CAD to the downside. But if it come out let's say weaker, then we might see this breaking this particular resistance level and then creating a resistance move to the upside. So the next one we want to take is US dollar JPY. US dollar JPY is one of my favorite positions to take next week. This week. As you can see, this is a resistance, this is a resistance, and this is a resistance level. So let's use the 1 hour time frame. Using the 1 hour time frame, it has breakout of the when you have a breakout of the trend line at the resistance level and it's to the downside, it tells you that the downside confirmation is clear. So if we now use let's use the daily time frame. As you can see, the daily time frame closes bearish, a very big hammer rejection candle right there, which tells us that we might have a bearish continuation from that particular area right there. So let's go back to the 4 hour time frame. So which tells us that we might just have a retracement at this particular area and continuation to the downside at that area. It might just have a retracement to this area, then the first take profit is 132.771 because we have a rest and then we have a demand level at this particular area. So you might tap to this demand level and start going up, or you might have a break of it then to this particular support level of 135.49. So let's say it goes right there, but actually we had resistance level, so we should see a continuation to the downside on US dollar JPY, unless if our buyers want to change to the upside. We should wait for the break of this. If we have a bullish bias on US JPY, we should wait for the break of this particular resistance right here. So if this resistance break to the upside, let's say we have a break of this resistance to the upside, then wait for rejection, then we take our profit at 137.5. But for now, we are still having some rejection at this particular resistance level. So the next one is Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So here we are anticipating a bullish move since maybe last 2-3 weeks, and we are still on it. So here last week we saw a rejection at this particular level, which takes the pair to 929.20, but we have some retracement to this particular area. Here we have the support level here. So next week we ought to see what we call a bullish momentum coming to AUD JPY, because at this support level we should see a rejection to the upside at that particular support level. So the whole directional bias is what to the upside. The first take profit at 93170, and then the second one will be at 94935. So the next one is Canadian dollar JPY, and after US dollar JPY, another favorite position I have is Canadian dollar Japanese yen. As you can see, we have various sell order at this particular area. As you can see that it came to tap into. If you check, this is a supply level right here, and it has come to tap into that particular supply level. So you see a rejection to this particular area, especially if we have a weaker than expected Canadian dollar CPI report. So we should see a move to this particular area right there, because a lot of others are here. A lot of this is a supply level at this particular area. So first take profit at 98119. This is one of my favorite positions, because if you check it, you will still see that it's formed head and shoulder at that particular area, and we still have confirmation of the trading reject at the trend line, and then this trend line too is valid. So this is one of my favorite positions too, apart from US dollar JPY and Euro US dollar. So you see the first take profit at 98429. We might see a rejection here or a break of the trend line to the upside, but my favorite anticipating direction is for it to break this particular trend line, then move to the downside. So the last one we want to check out today is Australian dollar CHF. Last week we talked about being this pair being anticipating to the downside, but we saw a fake breakout here, then it's breaking back to come and correct this particular chart pattern right there. Then it breaks it to the downside, it retest and it reject. So after this, we can say this is a head and shoulder formation, and then it break to the downside. So here I'm looking for it to hit the first target at 0.60020. That is at the neckline, and then the second target at 0.6225. That's what I'm looking at on AUD Swiss franc. So if you are new to this channel, please click like, subscribe, and then put your comment down below. Let's see what you are thinking about this pair next week, your favorite position, and then if you want to open a broker, we have the link in the description box. A very trusted and reliable broker. So you just click the link and register. So if you have any problem opening the broker, you can just chat me up. I will respond as soon as possible. And then if you want to join our community, click the link in the description box. We have the Telegram group there, the Telegram channel link there. So just click on it and join the channel. I drop my favorite every day. I drop my entry there, and then the exit on the Telegram channel. So a big thank you to everybody that has been supporting this channel. Make sure you trade safe. Make sure you use your protective stop loss. Use your protective stop loss. It's very, very important. And then don't put your stop loss where your trade will bounce back. Hope you understand. So have a good trading week, and have a lovely weekend.